red or blinking?
It's good.
It should be steady red.
Yeah, steady red. And, hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds, by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdarch.
Nerdarchy is Ted. This is take 2 of the sound.
Alright, so whatever. When it's done, I'll snip that front part off and fix it. It'll be as if it never happened.
Only you who were here the first time will know for sure.
Yeah, or if they go back and read the comments that are there before going, there's no sound. And the other new people will be going, what are you talking about? I can hear them fine. Maybe it's your computer.
And then I'll question reality. It'll be good.
So, the conversation that you missed, we're talking about the
weather.
The weather, and that, you know, it's here in Jersey, it's kind of cooled off a bit, which is yay.
So they really missed nothing.
Us just babbling about something. But, you know, hey, I'm going to France, and I'm going to play D&D in that castle.
Yeah, he is. Sucker.
Yeah, I get to hang out with my pals, Rudy and Satine. Jeremy Crawford's going to be there. There's some other people there. They already put me in. I already have a table so I'm playing. I might not even have to run. I might just play. I don't know. Like, because there's like 2 promoters, and one's like, you don't have to run if you don't want to. The other one is like, you can post games, you're going to run over here.
Well, I think it might be cool if you took, you know, some of the, adventures that we've got as Patreon rewards and be able to run, you know, one of those.
Yeah, I could absolutely do that. I may very well do that. I might run the goat one again. That was fun to run. And then there's that, and I was like, I could hit up the store and grab one of the adventures we have over there. You know, so there's definitely some options. But the only thing is, because I'm going to France, it's not like I'm going to pack a lot of stuff with me.
Right.
So unless they got a bunch of stuff laying around, yeah, theater of the mind.
Well, ideally somebody's brought some minis that they're not going to be using at the time.
Yeah, well, I think there is, but still, it's not like there's going to be terrain and maps that
Yeah,
I'll be able to lay out and stuff like that.
Well, the flat packs don't take up too much space.
That's
The
true.
flat plastic minis, yeah.
But the the price of getting over to France is quite high, so I'm not bringing any more luggage than I need to, and I'm also concerned about losing stuff. And
Yeah, theater of the mind is perfectly.
I'm gonna be lost.
agreeable.
I'm gonna be like Home Alone, lost in Paris. I don't have an adult.
So,
No, an adult who speaks French. That's what I need.
And English.
And English.
You should find plenty of people that speak French.
This is true.
Yeah, it should not be a problem. I'm just like, hey, I got a French last name. That's about it.
They'll say it right over there, right?
Maybe, I guess.
Pixel Blaze wants to know, which cleric domain do you find the best?
Knowledge.
Knowledge?
Yes.
I like
Yes.
Forge.
I do like War.
War, if you want to really go battle cleric, that is hardcore. You know, a good way to go. I've been playing Knowledge for 3 years now, and I like being able to know stuff. So, yeah, that's why I picked that one to begin with.
I like Nature out of the PHB, but I like Forge out of the expanded choices.
Xanathar's Guide. So what else do we got going? Oh, we have to give out something, right? We got
So the special edition of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I always say it wrong, so I just say them both. We did the Gleam contest. I've sent 4 out of the 5 copies to their homes. They should pretty much have them all by now. But the winners that we've selected, or the last winner, failed to respond. So we have to give it away.
give it away again.
Give it away again.
Nice.
So we, before this started, we pulled the magic trigger again, and the Gleam contest spit out a new winner, and that is Joe Rice Jones. So I have your email. I have your copy already packaged up and ready to go. I just have to reach out to you, get an address, and I can ship it your way. So to those who took part in the contest, thank you. To those who didn't win, I'm sorry.
Enter into another one.
And those who did not respond quickly enough, too bad.
Sorry.
I have Tea Time with Toby asking, he's making a campaign map and wants to know how big the hexes should be in reference to between towns. Too afraid to make them too big for travel time.
The standard used to be like 20 or 24. 24 stands out in my head for some reason.
24 is in the player's handbook in the DMG.
And I believe that's what they used back even in first edition, second edition.
I make the space wide enough and take long enough that you can shove a whole bunch of stuff in it. and not have to invent a new town somewhere that they're going to travel to the next time you want to take them on a side quest somewhere.
But that being said, I feel like in our home games, like they've traveled anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks to get to the next town. that next town being the same town.
And sometimes there's no encounters in between, even if it's a 2-week journey. Sometimes there's no encounters. It's all, you make it take as long as you want, in effect, based on what you're going to have happen.
With the style of game that we're running, I personally don't do a lot of random encounters just because I don't run a combat heavy game. So like I'm not going to let's just fill the space of the typically 4 or 5 hours that we play with combats that have nothing to do with the main story or the characters individual plots.
Yeah, but I think he just wants to know for world building purposes and intentions.
That's really going to be whatever space you feel fits your world, and your style.
But just keep in mind, they can't go out, walk 4 hours, fight a goblin campment, and then another time walk 4 hours, defeat such and such dragon. Because 4 hours out from town, those people in that town are probably dead long ago because those goblins came or the dragon ate them or whatever. There's got to be enough space so it legit feels like
the ecosystem has to make sense.
Yeah, they've got to go into the wilderness to find these things. Otherwise, they would just destroy the towns if they're that close. So that's why I say have enough space. You can have stuff happen in between places, and it doesn't feel like everything's cramped and unrealistic.
I forget the article, but it was a really good article, and it used examples of really powerful monsters like dragons or krakens, and it built out from them in these rings, right, and bands. So within the bands, the closer you were to the actual main creature would determine how that affects the actual landscape, how dangerous it is, and the further you got away from that, the closer you could get to more civilization, and it would kind of inform how you populated those areas. I wish I could remember the article, but it was really well done, and I thought it was a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I mean everything the more power a creature has, the more area it's going to be able to influence or control. So yeah, it's pretty much gonna, you're not gonna want to have society near that, otherwise it's not gonna last.
DM Dawn is sending out the Drinks and Dragon t-shirts on Monday.
Cool.
Yes,
Thank you.
You guys will get your cool swag. Oh, by the way, DM Don is sending out your shirts to you.
Well, he told us when we met him and at PAX Unplugged, he'd given you a shirt, and he told Nate and I, I'm gonna get you a shirt sometime.
Sometime in the future. Well, he had reached out, and I had given an address, so
okay.
So he's not going to randomly send them a carrier pigeon. Go seek Ted and Nate.
Well, they'd at least be 2 carrier pigeons carrying them between it or something.
That would be great. That'd be like one of the planes down in Wildwood that drags the banner behind it for Drinks and Dragons instead. Pigeons.
But what if it gripped it by the husk?
Wah wah wah. How are your games going?
Good. They're going well.
The holds.
The holds? Yeah, I'm actually playing again tonight. And I think it's episode way past what's on the internet because I need to start editing them and putting them online. But it's been a month and a half, I think, since I played. And they were talking to me yesterday, telling me what we were doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot you guys were even there. So I have to I'm glad it's recorded because I have to rewatch the last hour when I get home to pregame for what I'm supposed to be doing.
You don't have a Kurt?
No, I don't have a Kurt.
You need to get a Kurt.
I have a little file on my computer where I list what's happened and who they've interacted with and the NPCs that I make up on the spot and don't seem like I just made them up on the spot. That kind of stuff.
That good stuff. So we were supposed to be playing my game tonight.
Yeah, and you pulled the plug on that one to say, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to France. I got some stuff I need to take care of. So we get to get canceled yet again.
Yeah, because if I don't do some things, you guys may not get some videos while I'm gone up, as well as I have things that have to get home. Also, it's really tough coming off of the Origins and then coming home and I'm like, oh, now I'm leaving again. which I was not anticipating, but I'm not going to turn down a trip to France to play Dungeons and Dragons at a castle.
I can't fault you there. I have to fully admit I'm jealous. I'd love to be doing it, but
I'm glad one of us is going. Nerdarchy will be there.
And if you go to the FAQ page of the D&D at a castle, it's our picture at the top.
yeah.
The three of us, and then right under us is Jeremy Crawford, and then like Satine and Rudy and the rest of the guests. I think they're just lazy, and they're like, "Yep, here's a good spot right at the top."
They did not do it in alphabetical order.
Yeah, or by order of importance.
DM Don wants to know, how did you swing this, Dave?
Well, DM Don.
Blackmail. Lots of blackmail.
Black magic, blackmail. It was a total black thing. No, it was just luck and happenstance. I kind of like was in the right place at the right time online, and I had seen her like, hey, we had some cancels. I'm like, oh, you need a Z-list celebrity. I could probably make that happen. And then they messaged me privately and invited me out as a guest. So that was really cool.
So it's fantastic. I can't wait to hear what kind of great stories you're gonna come back and share.
Yeah, like I didn't take that many pictures when I went to Origins this time, but I'm gonna be in a castle. So I gotta take a lot of pictures, I think.
There's probably gonna be a lot of cool stuff just lying around.
So if you guys stay tuned to the channel. You leave next Saturday, so you're still gonna be here for this chat.
Yeah.
Next week. So thereafter. Stay tuned to our social media. However you choose to follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You'll be able to see some awesome stuff of what Dave's doing over in France.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if I'll be uploading it as it happens, or if I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures and videos and stuff, and then drop it when I get back. I don't know what to expect from internet and using my phone. I have no idea.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna play it by ear, figure it out, and whatever you get, you'll share when you can.
Exactly. So I'm curious to see, and also I don't even know how they stuck me at I shouldn't say stuck. They included me at one of the tables, which I'm very happy with, and I don't know if it's like you play the same table every day or every night. I don't know how they what the setup is going to be yet. So
when you sit down, they chain you to it.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
There.
Shackles.
Here's your food. Here's your chamber pot. We'll check back in 36 hours.
We'll see you 5 days later, as it should be.
But make sure you let me know what tasty food you get to eat too.
It's gonna be like all American food. What? This is bullshit.
If you're going to Paris, get some crepes. They got good crepes.
You're like, this is the McDonald's.
and croissants. I heard you need to eat croissants in France.
Yeah.
I will be eating whatever they put in front of me, probably.
Well, you guys are far more into the the food stuff, so
adventurous. The word is adventurous.
So I'm certain that you'll enjoy that aspect of it.
Maybe you get to try some escargot.
I don't know. They might have it. That's not very American though.
No, it's not.
I've never eaten them, so I don't know where you go to get it.
I think it's a French thing, man.
I know, but you said there's going to probably be like
I have no
American
idea.
stuff there.
That was
you
just
don't know.
me talking out my butt.
All right. Just tracking. So yeah, maybe there'll be some cool stuff there.
Yeah, I imagine so. It's going to be fun, and then we got Gen Con not too far off after that too. So
yeah, and either this week or after you get back, we need to figure out our own travel plans for that. So are we flying? Are we driving? When are we heading on the road? Are we doing anything cool with the fans?
That's too. If you guys are going to be at Gen Con, let us know. Email us at nerdarchy@gmail.com, and we will start trying to figure stuff out. It is helpful if we know that people are going to be there or not. Then we can try and plan something.
I have a couple of people that I know are going. That it's like, okay, well, I need to try and schedule something, and it's like I don't really have signed up for much because it's gonna be more about seeing people than it is about playing the games that are there.
Yeah, that's like the interesting thing about going to conventions for us. It's about meeting people that you've been talking to online for a long time, and like when games pop up, they're more like pop-up games. So it's like, hey, we finally get to meet. We always talk about this thing together. Let's do the thing, you know. So like I like doing that, or you know, some other things like, I mean, Origins. I did do some stuff like True Dungeon. We did the paint and take, and we went and saw Of Dice and Men. So that kind of stuff. At Gen Con, I know we're signed up to check out and see the
Art of Beholder.
Yeah, Eye of the Beholder, Art of Dungeons and Dragons. So they're having the premiere there. So that'll be pretty cool. And I think they added like a third show. So
Oh, nice.
they keep
Cool.
booking them full.
Well, I mean, it's a cool thing. You know, we watched, you know, the other stuff that Brian has done, and
So like I almost got to sit on the rough cut. But I don't think it happened. You know, Seth kept threatening it. And he did show off some other cool things, but don't tell Brian Stillman, people. He kept showing people these really cool things that are going to be in the movie. I won't say what they are. He must have showed like 50 people, and he's like, just don't let Brian know. So I'm like, I think Brian's going to know at this point. I mean, it was just funny. But yeah, my liver is recovering from Origins. I don't drink that much during the year, but when I go to cons,
you drink a lot.
I end up at the bar.
Just social drinking, you're gonna get
Yeah,
a decent
but it was
amount of
cool.
alcohol.
It was cool to get to hang out with Dan Dillon and a bunch of the guild adepts and the folks that are working on the new Wizards products, all the new crop of writers, and hanging out and with Chris Lindsay and talking to him and getting to talk to Jeremy Crawford and Greg Tito. So that stuff was all really cool. And it was cool because like D&D Beyond did a stream from there, and like they did a full day of events. And they're setting up, and I'm waiting around. I'm like, this is going to be cool. But the problem is they weren't mic'd up to broadcast the sound to people around. It was just for the stream. So most of them you couldn't hear. Like the only time I was ever hanging out over there and could hear anything was when Aaron Bradford was doing the Q&A that he does for D&D Beyond, because he's louder and more boisterous than a lot of the other people. But like when they had like 4 of them kind of talking, I was like, forget about it. You know, a lot of them were kind of a little more soft spoken.
Well, it sounds like you had a blast.
I did. And it was cool. Like, there's going to be an article on the website before too long. I'm going to write something before I go away, kind of about, like, the things I did do. They were all kind of things I could do with my wife that's nerd adjacent. So that part was kind of cool. So I think I'm going to do an article from that angle.
Okay, cool.
And then I'm also going to do one about my True Dungeon experience.
Sweet.
So, yes. Definitely, it's definitely a thing to try if you haven't done it before. I don't know if I would do it a bunch, you know, because it is a little costly if you wanted to do it, because you figure what you would pay for, you would have paid for a LARP before for a weekend. You're gonna pay for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's typically like $30 to $50 from the LARPs that I went to.
Yeah,
And that's what it costs for 2 hours in a True Dungeon?
like $50-$60. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the production value is really good. Like the costumes and all the stuff that they do are probably a couple steps above, most of the LARPs out there. Like, I know, they have their own like warehouse where they just store all this stuff because they try and do some big pieces or whatever, and I would love to raid that warehouse. And I was like, even when we had Jeff on the show before for the live chat, I was like, Halloween at your house must be awesome.
It would be epic.
Yeah, so it's cool. Like the combat is like a shuffleboard instead of like they actually had like an actual LARP there too, but it's like a shuffleboard with the monsters on it, and then there's different numbers which represented like a die roll. So that's what you're trying to go after. And it was different according to what the monster was, how tough the monster was, and there was different mechanics depending on what you're playing. So if you were playing the ranger, you dual weapon wield, so you had to use 2 hands and do the shuffleboards. The monk was a little tricky because you got flurry of blows, but you had to use the same hand, and you had to hit with the second one before the first one stopped.
Oh wow!
So they were kind of forgiving on that somewhat, but you're like putting one down and then firing one and then firing the other.
So it sounds like you need to kind of develop a game skill specifically.
Yeah. Well,
this.
before it even starts, like you go into a room to test skills. Like if you're a spellcaster, you had to memorize symbols, and if you so if you're going to use a piece of lore or a certain skill, they might be like, well, what was this monster? And you'd have to tell them the symbol. Or what was this plane? And you'd have to tell them the symbol. If you're a rogue, there was boxes and you'd have to do this like operation style puzzle, in order to get into the boxes. There was also like a logic puzzle. I guess they have tracks that are puzzles and primary puzzles, tracks that are primary combat, and they have ones that are like a mix.
Okay.
And I think they all have like a different ratio.
So it's like a couple mini games packed into the concept.
Yeah, I think the one I did was called Into the Astral, and the effects were really cool because they had like all this like mirrored foil like around the edges of everything, so it just gave off this really cool look. Like one of the, I don't know if I should say what like the big pieces were in it.
Nah,
That sounds like it's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Like because there was some really cool stuff. I don't know. In the article, I don't know. I think it was it was definitely worth mentioning. But the different kinds of puzzles, the way the combat worked, and the games within it itself were all really cool. And they clearly put a lot of work into it. So it's definitely a cool experience.
Teen Time with Toby wants to know if there are any openings in the fan games coming up.
My fan game is Monday night, and I actually have 4 players and 3 backups, so I am actually good.
Went from having one.
I went from having 1 player to having 4 with 3 backups. So I am solid. I am good. A lot of the times I wind up going to Patreon. This time I reached out to the Company of the Nag, our Facebook group, and I got responses like that. So
yeah, I mean we have done some different things. Like it's weird because we get 10 emails, and of those 10 emails, sometimes you'll fill the game and sometimes you won't.
Out of those 10 emails, I got 1 response and it was a negative.
Yeah. So, and then from there, usually we go to the Patreon, but we do occasionally go other places, like the Company of the Nags. I think even during a live chat one time, I was like, hey, email me right now, and I'll take, however they're time-stamped, I'll take them.
I mean,
I picked from Discord before.
if you hang out with Nerdarchy in some way, shape, or form, there's going to be a way to, get access, so.
Yeah, we're not always money grubbing, just most of the time. No, I mean the patrons do help support us and help us do things that we couldn't normally do. So we do go there the majority of the time, but occasionally we're like, hey, let's do something else. You may or may not know that we're partnered with Easy Roller Dice. We've been partnered with Easy Roller Dice for a long time, and we're going to start doing a monthly giveaway for them. It's going to be a Gleam contest, and it's going to be open to everybody. And it's probably we're still hammering it out, but what it probably is going to be when we finally finalize it and launch it is, when you win this contest, you're going to pick like 1 item from each different category where they do stuff, and you're going to get that. So like it's going to be like pick your choice of dice cup, dice bag, dice tray, metal set of dice. So it'll be a really cool prize, and we're going to do that with them on a monthly basis. Don't know for how long we'll do it, but they're definitely on board for it. So they've always been great with us.
But speaking of giveaways, 5th edition Foes by Frog God. I actually received this copy in my RPG crate. So this is a nice sizable book, over 250 pages of awesome monsters. I already own a copy. We did a review, or we went into the book for a sponsored thing for Frog God, and I'm like, yeah, I like monster manuals. I need to buy that book. So I need to figure out a way to give this away.
So how big is the giveaway pile at this point?
The giveaway pile is pretty big.
All right, let's give it away today.
All right, how do you want to do it?
Towards the end of this this broadcast, this live chat, we will have a very scientific method of Jake is going to just scroll up and down and have the mouse on the thing, and one of us will say stop, and whoever's name he stops on. So the only way you can possibly win this today is if you left a comment in the chat right now at some point.
So thank you to Frog God, and thank you to RPG Crate. But I don't need a second copy of awesome
Plus a
Monster
digital
Manual.
copy.
Plus a digital copy. It's just not needed. So
And also too, it's
Is that a centaur ape?
yes.
Nate's
book
done.
is so good.
Nate is checking out.
Cancel the contest. This is
And,
not.
you know, also, guys, and we want to thank Jake for being here and helping us out, run tech behind the scenes for us. And he was helping with setup earlier when we were shooting videos. So very appreciative of that.
So while Nate's looking at that, Uncle Peter wants to know, will Nerdarchy After Dark be returning with Kinata?
Yes, at some point. I just do not know when.
In the future!
Future.
We actually have quite a few changes coming with Nerdarchy, and we're going to be experimenting with some things. We're going to be taking a break from the live chat. We're not sure for how long yet, maybe a month or two, and then we may bring it back in the future. But right now, we're going to be running out the live chat that we have right now, the guests that we've already booked, and then from there, we're going to take a break for a little while before we bring it back.
Michael Francis Jr. fires us a super chat of $5. Just wanting to say, hey guys.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you, Michael.
Thank appreciate it. He gives us super chats a lot, so
He
thank you. and
he
we
does. He
appreciate
is
you.
he is a awesome fan.
I might have a heavy finger on that one when it comes to the giveaway.
Oh. Well, it does make a bigger box.
That's what I mean.
The super chats make a bigger box.
Well,
That's true, it does, doesn't it? Huh.
All right, enough panhandling the internet. But no, thank you. We do appreciate everything you guys do. It helps us out. It allows me to do this full time. These guys are getting closer to being able to do this full time.
But and if you want to find another way to help out the channel, there is always Patreon. We have I think a great program that we have over there. Some awesome reward levels. Not only does that give you an entry into gaming with us in our monthly fan game, you get an entry into our giveaway that's not a part of Patreon or YouTube or what have you.
Nobody's involved with nobody. We don't even know how it happens.
So like apart from those things, you do get the digital stuff that we're able to put together.
What is that? That's the Mage Force, Monster Menagerie, Friend or Foe,
Terrible Terrain, and Lost
Lore.
Lore.
Yeah. So, and if you go in at $10 and you get it all, it all comes to you in one PDF. And really, like this month is really good. We, we've been outsourcing it. We've been taking videos that we've done with our ideas, and we send it off to people that are much better writers than us. And then they kind of like put a spin on interpretation on it, and the rewards that are coming back are really good.
I think the great part about sending it to a variety of different people based off of our ideas, you're getting such diverse things, and it's really, really awesome. It's stepped up the amount of stuff that you're getting for the rewards. This month there's a 16-page document if you're in at the Lost Lore level, which includes a cool map picture, a good cover page, and Doug, who is awesome enough to do our editing and stuff for us. He's now doing printer-friendly versions, so it's getting oh, I got this awesome PDF with this cool layout, or I can be like, oh, well, I want to open this one. So I just think it's great.
Yeah, it was decent before, but I think it's like I'm really proud of what we're putting out on Patreon. I think it's really good now. And even with the giveaways, if you support us even at $1 and you win a giveaway, like the giveaways that we do, you like for years, like you're covered for years. You've gotten your dollars back.
Yeah, the typical giveaways that we do average around $50, but I imagine over the next several months we're gonna have to start clearing out the shelf. So, maybe not completely, but I mean it's possible that we could have giveaways that are $100 or more just to make a dent on what's here. Because I can only imagine, like the last time I went to PAX Unplugged, I came home with several months worth of giveaways. If we go to Gen Con, I can't imagine that kind of thing isn't going to happen again.
Ted just likes stuff, even if he doesn't get to keep it, and he just like...
I have acquired these 3 things. I will give away some of them.
I fully admit I'm a greedy person.
No, you're not greedy.
No,
you just have the personality of a dragon. Draco Tig. Ooh. Maybe we need to make that.
Well, there's a Dracatar, but you want to make a Dracated.
Draca Theodore.
Tea Time with Toby asks, what's your favorite monk tradition?
Monk tradition.
Right now, I'm really fond of the Drunken Master.
There's no other choice.
Drunken Master is pretty awesome.
It's just good and fun.
I have to I have to admit it. Just the classic open hand is just a solid build.
It is, like, mechanically speaking. Open hand is really good, and if you just want to punch things, you can't go wrong. But at the same time, I really like the flavor of the Drunken Master and combine that with the actual mechanical abilities, which are just as good, but they're good in like a different way. They're like, yeah, I'm never going to get hit because I'm going to never be near anything to hit me. So
it shores up that monk weakness, which they're glass cannons.
Yeah. So with the Drunken Master, you just don't ever have to be next to anyone that can punch you.
Now, in the first Brigade Con, I played a Dwarven monk. I was a 7th level game, and I was the only character to be in the entire game without dying, or the only player to be in the game without dying.
When it ended, yeah.
When it ended, yeah, because it was supposed to be
a meat grinder.
A meat grinder, and I survived. There's a couple of times like deflect arrows totally saved my life.
Well, had you at the time had
Drunken Master.
No, hit dice the heroics. You could have deflected more than arrows.
That's true.
Did you guys read the UA on Soul Knife? Sun Wukong wants to know what your thoughts on the Soul Knife. I don't think I recall.
Is it recent? The recent
or is it?
I can look it up right now, real quick.
Or is it the like?
It might also be the Happy Fun Time Hour with Mike Merles that he's been talking about it.
Yeah, I didn't read that one. If there's been an update.
Yeah, because favorites. They just did Favorite Soul. The
Giant Soul. Giant Soul Sorcerer was the last one.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine. I can't imagine they've done another one already, unless they're pumping out more.
I think this one is over a year old.
Okay.
I mean, all the other UAs we've talked about, but I don't specifically remember that one off the top of my head.
Yeah, because it would have just been in with the Mystic. When they did that. And now I know Mike Morales has been talking a lot about psionics over on the Happy Hour.
It's exactly in the one with Mystics, the UA from Mystics.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I feel like I need Mystics to be different before I want to talk about Soul Knives and things. I don't know, because I want to see the whole kind of package.
Yeah.
Well, if you go back and watch the Happy Fun Hour,
I'll have to see the Happy Fun Hour.
You can see what Morales is doing with those, because it seems like he's going to do stuff over there, and then it's going to end up in the UAs for further refinement.
Yeah, I gotta get on point with watching those regularly, but they come out on Fridays, right?
Yes,
And
when you're watching
Critical Role.
Or are they Tuesdays? I don't know. I forget which day. There's a place where we can find this out on the Twitch schedule. Although they're probably also archived over on YouTube as well. So you can do it. We have the capability. We have the power.
We do. I just have to make it happen.
Doug wants an article from Nate about the Soul Knife and.
The psionics.
All right.
Oh no! Twist Nate's arm and write about psionics. It's
That
so
sounds
hard
like a
to
good
do.
idea. I gotta revisit it again because it's not in like a book. It's not. I don't feel like it's talked enough. Yeah, talked about enough. It's not like in Xanathar's Guide or something.
So guys, you may or may not be able to see this right now, but Nate is splotched in tar all over the place because he was working on his roof the other day, and it's tar, and tar doesn't come off very easily.
Yeah, it comes off with. Well, I mean, the skin underneath the tar comes off with a knife, so if you get a little scrape, you can get rid of the tar.
But it makes me think of Game of Thrones. What is
Grayscale.
the grayscale? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got
I was just
grayscale.
looking at you when you move your arm, and I would see it. I'm like, it looks like Nate has grayscale.
Yeah, part of me, my wife and I recently rewatched Game of Thrones, trying to get ready for whenever we're going to get the final season, and I want to create things like that are part of our world to make that just one more step of, hey, here's something that's unique to.
We kind of have throughout if you look out through all the stuff that we've created, maybe not you individually, but Nate has done
we've
stuff.
got a
Ryan's
good set of
done
diseases.
stuff. I've done stuff. It's like codifying things and quantifying and categorizing and organizing.
So,
a lot of izing.
Michael Francis Jr. drops us another super chat of $5.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, sir.
He's feeling extra good today.
He's trying to buy his way into our hearts.
And then Nerder Doug actually comes with maybe the most important question we've heard today. If the Mighty Nine switched from adventurers to managing a youth musical act like the Partridge Family, better campaign or best campaign ever?
It may be best ever.
If Kiri is the lead singer, then absolutely.
I in my mind, I even came with it's like Kiri and the Kenkus, and then you dress all the other kids up like Kenkus. I don't know, but is that offensive to Kenkus? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know any real world Kenkus to ask. Now my only question is Kenku can only mimic. So how can you have a Kenku that's a lead singer?
That's the joke.
Everyone else would have had
best
those
cover
songs.
band ever.
Yeah. This sounds exactly like the original.
I mean, exactly.
With guitar and everything.
Yeah.
Tea Time with Toby. If Vox Machina and the Mighty Nine got into a fight at equal levels, who would win? I think it's pretty easy.
I don't know enough about Vox Machina to actually know.
The problem is where I am. I'm only up to episode 60. I actually didn't have a chance to watch anything of the campaign 1 over the past week. They're at level 13, whereas these guys are level 5 on campaign 2.
You know what? I'll tell you, Vox Machina wins mainly because this campaign has a Warlock, and Warlocks are so optimal mechanically in combat, so it's almost like they're down a person or half a person.
So you're saying the Warlock makes them win or makes them lose?
Makes them lose.
Okay.
It just doesn't have enough to offer in a straight up fight. Against a full caster or a full fighter?
I've seen nightmarish things happen in my game on Friday with Doug and everybody, which is finally finished up after 12 episodes.
But
all right,
the
so
question is,
Warlock.
name another class that couldn't duplicate which was done.
All right, so Vox Machina has a rogue, a ranger mixed with rogue, a barbarian, a cleric, a druid, a gunslinger, and a bard.
Are there 2 wizards on the other side?
I think the Moon Druid and Vox Machina beats out just about everybody on the other side.
In the Mighty Nine, you have trying to go across the screen. So you've got a warlock, a monk, a wizard, a rogue, a cleric, a barbarian, and a blood hunter.
Oh, the blood hunter is going to be a little bit of a detraction too, because they don't seem quite as useful as some of the other classes. The straight classes is too much of a gish, right?
Right.
And if you guys have heard me, they're fun to play, but anytime you have something that's a gish, they're just never as good as either the fight, the straight up, this one, the fighting or the casting.
The spellcaster one for Blood Hunter was cool, and I thought it had some
cool and fun to play are not the same as
being able to mechanically kill a group.
As the mechanics.
What level of the Mighty Nine? What level are they?
Right now, I believe they're 5.
Oh,
but the idea is everyone's the same level.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
So you can take your 5th level from whatever and. Because you're on 5th level in the other one, right?
The Gunslinger is going to be... I think the Gunslinger is going to be better than the Blood Hunter.
I agree.
Same character, too.
It is.
And I just think a Bard as a support is way better than the Warlock.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially with his crotch lightning. Look for the campaign 1 video where the actual actors get into costume. Scanlan Shorthall, when he fires a lightning bolt, he thrusts his arms out to the side, and the lightning bolt comes from his crotch, and there's video proof of it.
So I really think that the combination of Bard and Gunslinger just puts them above Warlock and Blood Hunter.
That is a sound bet.
And that's without even like closely dissecting the rest of them. And the Mighty Nine, like their warrior classes, their melee warriors are going to be monk, which a monk at a high level can dish out a lot of damage. But let's see,
there's a barbarian on both sides, so you can pretty much push them.
And who knows what they do with multi-classing, but. The actual, I don't remember. Quivering Palm, is that Way of the Open Hand specific?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So like that big damage thing, I don't know if the Kobold Soul version is going to have the books. Are you putting in the books?
I'm like, there's a book over there.
I don't know if the Kobold Soul is going to have something equivalent to to that. So at the higher levels to kind of offset the melee stuff, but a high level ranger is going to do a lot of damage.
And technically, they're going to have Trinket as it's not going to absorb a lot of extra damage, but it's another target, which is Lara's animal companion.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's one more thing, and right now there isn't an animal companion to.
They got Curie.
I kill people.
So I don't watch the show, so I have no idea what's going on right now.
Don't eat humans.
All you need to know is Moon Druid, rest of the party dies. Poison wants to ask, how about a Hexblade Pact of the Blade character build video? I'm especially curious about some lore background story ideas because the patron is not very defined.
So we actually have some character builds that are going to be coming up soon. We're probably going to be delving into more of those for reasons that we cannot discuss at the time. We got some really cool stuff to announce. We're just waiting. We're getting really close to switching up to doing nothing but 3-camera shoots. We're making a lot of changes with the equipment. Like if we were to pan around, you would see a very different setup. I don't know. Can you do that? How easy can that be done? You would see some.
I think it's hard to see the cameras.
Yeah, it's kind of dark in here.
Well,
so.
yeah, but he's on that side, so
yeah, that's true.
Camera.
As you can see, like we've got a way different setup than we had before, and we're trying to transition.
Camera.
Little bit of tour of Ted's messy basement.
Yeah.
I am not a neat freak.
Well, then you have kids play down in the basement.
Well, yeah, there's that too. I mean, we've got plans. Like, you haven't seen our final form. We're not even close. Like the things that we want to do with Nerdarchy.
So does that mean we have to just keep yelling?
Right? Isn't that how it works? Or jump up on the stool, but I don't know if it can handle that.
Hit your head.
And there's a ceiling.
The internet can't handle that, so don't do it.
It'll be great. It'll be on like America's Funniest Videos. There'll just be like a blooper clip all over the place.
Well, I mean, all we need is that one good viral video.
There you go.
Then
they're gonna be so disappointed. They're not getting hit in the nuts and falling over in every video. I'm out. Scrub these guys.
DM Don wants to know, is there any thoughts about moving to a studio?
Yes. Yes, there is.
As soon as there are funds to pay for it.
We would love to do like a studio setup and shoot, especially where we have to have our equipment just set up and not have to break it down and set it up every time. The big like pie in the sky dream is to open up a gaming cafe where we have a storefront where we sell gaming stuff as well as running games out of it and have food services as well.
A studio in the back that we can be able to...
Studio and office space in the back. And populated with way cool stuff from Brian Collin. And creature curators or curations. I always mess that up.
But yeah, that's the dream.
So, and how cool would it be to commission him to, instead of doing the stuff that he normally does, his monsters, for us to open up, our monster vault and be like, here's something we made. Can you do a head or a bust of this?
Yeah, I'd love a Scorp head. I'd love the head of a an Abyssar. Like these are awesome things that we've made.
You could have the most dangerous and labyrinthine bathroom.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's a weird way to have a urinal.
You must fight the dragon to urinate. It's just a dude.
Yes. So we do have things that we want to do. Like we look at Geek and Sundry, Nerdist, even Critical Role, what they're doing now as far as creating, their own company, and they're gonna have multiple shows. So we look at that kind of stuff, and we want to be able to create a space where we can have other nerdy people come and work for us, and we can like give back jobs where they like are happy to go to work instead of having soul crushing jobs. But that might be a little ways off in the future.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not even up to year 5 yet, so I mean we're
in year 5.
Well, yeah, but we haven't completed 5 years of this, so
who knows?
We've got time to make this dream a reality.
I imagine we're going to hit our silver play button probably early next year, unless something crazy happens with YouTube one way or the other. But I think we're on track probably for the first quarter of next year to get a silver play button.
My hopes, my goals was, by the end of 2018, and it doesn't look like we're going to get there. But, I mean, that's okay.
Well, yeah. We can
make it happen, Ted.
will it in existence? Yeah, we had to be at 75, like, I think at the beginning of this month, in order for us to be, like, on target, on track.
Right.
So
maybe the 3-camera shoot will be that push, and we'll see bigger changes.
Yeah, the 3-camera shoot. We're doing more products. We're actually about to launch another product. So we're taking our Patreon rewards from 2016, I believe we're going back to, and we're starting to turn them and compile them into products. So if you weren't around for that time, you'll be able to get them. And even looking at the Mage Forge that we put together, it's a decent sized product, and not only that, there's some changes. So it's not the same stuff. It's not all just the same stuff you got from being a patron. Like we've put them through the crucible. We've made them better. There's like a new category of magic item in there. We were kind of making common magic items before Xanathar's Guides came out and releasing them in our Patreon. So we reworked a bunch of the stuff to fit that format.
Also adding
a bunch of art. Yes.
So like that's gonna increase what's there. So I mean, there's lots of stuff to look forward to, and we're gonna be doing the same with the other sections of the Patreon rewards. We want to give you guys who have supported us on Patreon time to really play around with it and enjoy it before we release it into the wild, so to speak.
Right. We want to give you guys at least a full year head start before. And the way we do our Patreon, it's not like, oh, you signed up for June of 2018 or whatever, and that's the reward, or that is how it is. That's the reward.
You don't get month 1. Like it's not an ongoing thing, and we have this crazy chart of which one you get. No, whatever month we're in is the month that we're talking about, and the month that everybody of that month gets. So anything that was prior to you signing up, we still are going to do something with it eventually. But the only way to get that is whenever we do something with it eventually.
Yeah, and again, we want to make sure that you guys that are patrons don't feel slighted. So we're going to make sure you guys get to play with that stuff for a long time before anybody else gets it. You're our guinea pigs.
And we love you for it.
We have under 10 minutes. Do we want to do the giveaway or?
I say we do that in the last 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
That does make sense.
Give 5 minutes away. So if you just tuned in, or you tuned in and have no idea what that means, 5th edition Foes, awesome softcover book by Frog God Games. This came in the RPG crate for the month of May, and I have an extra copy. So we're going to choose somebody who has commented in the live chat. And before we're done in just a couple of minutes, we're going to randomly select somebody, and I'm going to reach out to you, get your address, and I'm going to send it to you.
I have a question for the chat. any other YouTube channel or content creators give away as much stuff as we do? I feel like we do a lot of giveaways. We do one a month, just from the patrons. Sometimes we just go like, "Hey, we got a thing. You guys want it?" For the major releases, I want to say for the last few, we've done giveaways, which have gotten bigger with each one.
Yeah, with Mordenkainen's, we gave away 5 copies. Prior to that, we were giving away 1 or 2.
Yeah.
We also have our YouTube milestone giveaways.
We've done those as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've opened up the Cough Corpser, Koshi, so you guys know what's in here. Fire Snake, Poisonous.
Well, we did...
Flail Snail. So some of these have been remade in Volos.
All dungeons need more Doom Bats.
Yeah, but what about the Golem Furnace or the Flagstone Golem?
Did the video on the Corpse Rook go out?
Oh yeah, that's been
okay. So that video is based out of this book. There's a lot of fantastic monsters that are in it. And if you know Ted, I love monster manuals. So.
I'm usually pretty blasé when it comes to black and white art, but there's actually some really good stuff in here. The Pyrolist. They also bring back a lot of really old monsters as well.
No, the concept of the Frog God stuff, a lot of it, they say it's a 5th edition rules with a 1st edition feel. So some of those old rules they brought back, and it's a lot of fun to kind of mix it up and play with.
How could you not want to put a Stego Centipede in your game?
Stego Centipede.
Yeah.
Wow.
How could you not want that in your game? So I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of good stuff in here. We're probably going to delve in a bit more, and do more monster videos from this book for that reason. One of the complaints I did see about this book, it's worth mentioning, and we pointed out anyway, is they do their stat block differently. So it's not congruent with 5th edition at all. It's based off AD&D.
But you know what they do have in there that makes me love that book almost more than any other book?
Ecology.
Oh my god, it's so important.
And that's because the format is that of AD&D, and they do it exactly like that.
So you don't lose anything. All of the necessary stats are there, but the layout is different. And they've, as we pointed out, they add stuff like your ecology. So that I think is a lot of fun, and it helps you properly know how these things act.
I think it's jarring, if you came in later to the hobby and you're like, oh, this is what I'm used to. But if you're like us and just really freaking old and you've been playing since 1st and 2nd edition, you're like, oh, I remember this. So it's kind of like a nostalgia thing. And
I hadn't even noticed that the stats were in a different order because that stuff doesn't even pay.
Yeah, I mean, I played at 2nd edition, so I'm used to this kind of layout. But I looked at it and I'm like, okay, well, all right, everything's there.
I think it's in an order of importance, except XP is ahead of everything else. Well,
it depends who you ask.
Well, XP and CR, whether or not you're going to use this creature, initiative, AC, hit points, what their resistances are, their speed, their attacks.
The speed is the
and
only
then it goes to
throws me.
statistics.
Because the speed is really important for me a lot. And I'm like, every time I look at the book, I'm like, where'd the speed go? So 2 points. One, everybody agrees that, with maybe the exception of Wizard of the Coast, you guys are way more generous than any of the other channels out there. And it's pretty unanimous across it. And we're also at the 4-minute mark.
Wait a minute. What giveaways is Wizards of the Coast doing?
They give away stuff all the time.
Do they?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Maybe on their Twitch streams. That might be it.
They kind of have the ability to. I mean,
well, they do have the ability to. I just don't know where they are.
When you order the books to be printed, it's like a completely different level there.
They give away the books to the people to review.
Well, that's true, but they're not giving them to regular people. Well, not that we're not.
Did they give away a cruise? Because we give away a 4-cabin cruise. So just for those new people who don't know. Fantasy was really awesome.
We did do that. That was a $1,800 prize.
Yeah. It makes me a little sad, though. It's like, how do we top... we haven't even come close to topping that.
No. We've given away a couple legendary bundles. Those are like, $400 or $500 prizes.
Yeah, I will say Adam Bradford loves giving those things away. He does give away.
He gives away a lot.
Hands them out like candy.
And you get one. And
it is really good.
All right, so let's. We're getting down to the hot wire. So let's start scrolling and.
All right, which one of us is going to say stop?
I'm gonna say you.
I was going to say we could like rock paper scissors for it.
All right, you guys. All right, so Nate gets the pick.
All right, you having a go?
Yep, just let me know.
Our very scientific method.
Stop.
Andy Cumwu. I apologize.
All right, so
we have your name.
So Andy, reach out to us, nerdarchy@gmail.com, and I will get this book shipped to you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And for convenience, when you reach out to us, so you can save Ted an email, include your address, and we will get that out to you.
Or where you'd like to send. If you want to send it to somebody else.
If you don't want it for yourself, just
Just tell us where to send it.
Yeah.
If you want to shoot it into space, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, it's yours. You own it.
Well, I don't have a mailing. I don't know how I can mail it to space.
We'll just put it with the Space Force. You guys on your way out, can you?
I mean, I already have to send rewards to Ulfganya, to Glimmermare, so.
Yeah. So that's cool. Congratulations. Like I said, we like giving stuff away. It's fun. It makes it feel like Christmas all the time. Or your birthday. And I did have to make a blood oath. Swear a blood oath in order to go to France to your sister. That I will someday take her to France.
Well, I mean, it's rough. But
there's a long list of people that want to get into a suitcase as well. I'm like, you guys are going to probably have to get behind my wife and kids. And then my daughter, like, she's giving me a hard time because Steph has gone places with me now, and David has gone places with me now, and she has not. So,
but she's of the family. She's the least likely to want to play D&D.
Yeah,
she's the least nerdy. Yeah,
disinterested.
So
yeah.
She
doesn't care. To be honest with you.
She's not disinterested.
Oh no, she doesn't care about the disinterested part. She just wants what everyone else is getting.
Well, yeah.
But you got a teenage girl, so what are you gonna do?
Ugh.
No, I'll take her to France.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like how can I go drink and hang out and play D&D if I got to deal with a teenager?
I'm gonna need to play D&D and go drink because of I have to deal with a teenager. I guess that's about time. We're gonna wrap things up. Thanks everyone for hanging out. It was greatly appreciated. Thank you, Jake, for manning the helm for us today. It's a huge help. And again, congratulations. And until next time,
Stay nerdy.